Hey guys, I'm Jeff Patterson, this is Eric Nelson. Today we're going to look at a few techniques off of our curriculum, starting with a shoulder stack, and look at some details to kind of help make it a little bit more effective. Talk about some body structure alignment things that you can do to maintain control through the pass. So we're going to start where, if you can lay down here and put me in your guard. When we're in this position, if my knees are out like this, it's a lot easier for him to break my posture and bring me forward. So I want to stack my knees under his hips a little bit, and that's going to bring his body up and make it more in a straight line position, which is harder for him to use his hips. Second, we're going to talk about our grips. Now, when I grab with one hand, I will either always grab the same side lapel, or sometimes it's okay to grab both sides lapel. Either one here is okay. Usually I just prefer the one side because I feel I can get a more solid grip here. When I'm grabbing the lapel, you don't want to grab up here because this brings your head forward too much. I want to grab right here underneath the sternum, and so I can also use my fist kind of underneath those ribs. So if he pulls me forward, I can push into his ribs with my fist. Now, not only can I pull him to keep him close, but I can also push him to keep me from coming forward. So this is a good control. Keep the elbow down. In this hand here, I'm going to use to pop the legs open. And when we do this, I'm also thinking about my lower spine, and I'm pushing the small of my back outward as I pop the legs open. Now from here, I'm going to take the hand underneath, slide it down to the mat. Now, here, a lot of times I hear people say that you're vulnerable for the triangle choke. If you know how to do this pass well, you don't need to worry about the triangle choke. One is I'm covering this leg with my arm on this side. And two, if he tries to pop this up to go to the triangle choke, I want it on my shoulder because now I have a lot more power here. I reach around and I grab, step up, and then change my angle. So now if you look at me from the side, this back leg is driving into the mat, and oftentimes I'll use this as kind of like a wedge to get under his hips, and now it's preventing him from being able to move his hips. He's kind of stacked up in this position. Then my hand position here is kind of like I'm pulling a rope. I'm going to cinch that down until I get right across his throat and put a little bit of pressure on him and make him very uncomfortable here. I want to put his knee in his face. And a lot of times when you get in this position, one of the mistakes I see people do is they get here and they just kind of throw the knee off the head, and then they recover guard. Now you're battling guard again. But if you get to this position and you stack him up and put that knee in his face and take your time here, now when I pop that leg off, watch what my left arm, this arm here, is going to do. I'm going to slide that right across into the neck. I've still got this control here, and as I come around and switch into my crossbody position, keeping that pressure down, and now I've got everything closed up. This hand is palm down, checking the hip. My shoulder's tight on the bottom, so his arm's kind of stuck out here, and it's hard for him to get in. I'm driving with this foot on this side, and I've got a good tight crossbody control. I can switch and drive on this side as well. And so the transition going from inside the guard to crossbody is real important. You don't want to get in too much of a hurry there because you don't want to give him any space or possibility to recover guard. Okay, let's do that again. So knees are up, get my grip. Now, another thing here, he's always, especially if he's got a closed guard game, he's going to be trying to break my posture all the time. One little thing I can do to help prevent that, we already talked about the knees inside, but another thing I can do is think about tucking my tailbone and rounding the low part of my spine, and that's going to make it easier for me to have more stability, so when he starts pulling with his legs and trying to pull me forward, I can sit down. Now, not only am I sitting down and rounding the spine, but as he pulls, you can angle the hips left and right, and that's going to give you a little bit more structured stability in this position as well. So I get my grips, pop them open, I come up, slide down, step up. Now when I change, that back foot comes up, In position here, slide that down. Take your time here. As I come across, I keep that pressure. Slide this hand through to the floor, weight down, and into a good, solid crossbody position. One more time, let's do that from a different angle. Let's have your head this way. You can see a little different. All right. That is our basic shoulder stack position. A few details in there. We're going to get into some more variations of that later in some different videos that we're going to look at. But that technique right there is kind of bread and butter technique, and you want to master that because that'll really help your guard pass and help you be more successful in defending attacks while you're inside somebody's guard. Thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you soon.